means official start at least of hurricane season. Already keeping an eye on something out there in the tropics.
Yeah, here we are, Tropical Depression 2, and you may be wondering what happened to Tropical Depression 1. Well, that actually happened back in the winter. There was a subtropical storm that developed in the North Atlantic, so technically that gets tacked onto this season, and now here's Tropical Depression number 2 down in the Gulf. It's well south of Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Panama City, and Destin. So if you know somebody who's down here, not major impacts from this, but the surf is rough and the rip current risk is somewhat high. Here's the satellite looking at both visible and infrared. We've colored the cloud tops in so you can see where the taller thunderstorms, the stronger storms are, and they are away from the center. The center is actually somewhat exposed right now, so it's not a rapidly intensifying dangerous storm, but it is one that National Hurricane Center is watching closely, and it's also going to do something a little strange, moving south. Typically, Gulf storms don't do this. The normal storm is going to come inland from this position somewhere between Louisiana and Florida, but this one is going out of the Gulf back toward the Caribbean because of a northerly flow that will gradually help to not only dry us out some on Friday and Saturday, but also help to settle the surf down at Gulf Shores and Orange Beach for the upcoming weekend. The rip current risk is still pretty high going through Friday, but through Saturday and Sunday, I think that'll come back down. You'll see yellow flags and the Gulf will be a little bit quieter. Highs will be in the 80s down on the Alabama Gulf Coast this weekend. Around here, showers will taper off tonight in the 70s before midnight. It just doesn't get cool all that quickly once we add the humidity to the air. In the 60s tomorrow morning, a fair sky, a nice warm start to the day, some a little cooler than others, especially in East Alabama, and then some isolated downpours tomorrow afternoon with high temperatures climbing into the upper 80s. So here's how we think this is going to work. 9 o'clock in the morning, there's not a lot out there. We certainly have the instability ready for some thunderstorms as early as 9, so you'll start seeing some puffy white clouds. And then by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, watch especially west of I-65. So think Morgan, Cullman, Blount, Jefferson, Shelby, Chilton counties westward. Jasper, Tuscaloosa, Fayette, Hamilton, Double Springs, Haleyville. Yeah, the greater concentration of some storms over that way through the early afternoon and evening on Friday. Here's our starting point going into tomorrow. We'll start out in the 60s and warm up into the mid and upper 80s on Friday afternoon. There's the map for today, but tomorrow we're looking at 89. An isolated storm is possible here and there, but I think that best chance of a storm is a little northwest of Birmingham. Here's your hour by hour going from 68 at 6 a.m. to the mid 80s and upper 80s by the afternoon with a north wind. Limited chance of a shower on Saturday. We've got the Stallions in town, 91 for a high, kickoff temp right around 90. Still pretty hot, a tiny chance of an isolated shower Saturday afternoon. Thunderstorms may be a little more numerous on Sunday and Monday, but there's not a single day of the next 7 where I can guarantee that every neighborhood around here is going to get a downpour. So just be a little flexible with your outdoor plans in the week ahead. You're watching WVTM 13.